it was Kissinger who famously said, and we've also said this too, I mean, essentially in the last year and a half, we've had everything but food shortages. And Kissinger made this statement. He said, if you can control the money, you can control the world. If you can control the oil, you can control the countries. If you control the food supply, you control the people. I want to bring up some of the things that have been happening. I'm going to put these pieces together for you because, well, Gateway Pundit did an article, and they totally missed the mark. I mean, Gateway Pundit's really pretty good, especially when it comes to their coverage on elections. But they haven't put the pieces together on this because it's a roadmap. It's showing what's probably, what may be, happening here in the near future. You guys got to check this out so you can be prepared. Now, before I get into the Gateway Pundit article, I just want to do some unrelated. These are unrelated. I think personally, she thought, you know, the gal on, you'll see, I'm seeing it when I cover the article. Okay, I'm getting to that. She just wanted to taste bugs because there was a world-famous sushi chef. Has nothing to do with any of these things. It's just that when I was reading the article, remember, YouTube's watching. When I was reading the article, I was like thinking, hey, man, wait a minute, didn't the UN urge people to eat insects to fight world hunger? I seem to recall that came up, so I took a look and, wow, yeah, UN urges people to eat insects to fight world hunger. And this came out 13 May of 2013. Also, I want to bring up, it was about 6 months ago they talked about possibly, actually, trying to outlaw a lot of the different meats that are being produced. So I wanted to bring this up because, I mean, they have nothing to do with each other, even though I want to remind you that Bill Gates had a group of people get together about 8 months ago before a major event occurred, and it was, 8 months later. Everything that happened within that meeting occurred. I can't recall what they talked about. Some of you may be able to remember. I don't know. But generally what's going to happen, and I know they talked about this, and they brought it up again, and they started pushing it about 4 to 5 months ago. And then remember, you want to break the news, okay? You want to take your time. UN has its own priorities, but you want to break the news. Then you want to slowly but surely normalize it, make it normal. And, oh, wait. There was something else interesting that happened, which is one of those coincidental timing things that you find only in government and on mainstream media. All right, this is out of CNBC, and it's kind of funny. You'll get a kick out. U.S. says ransomware attack on meatpacker JBS, likely from, guess where? Yes, that's right, it's from Russia. Russia's that couldn't have anything to do with China in any way whatsoever. Even though China wants to become the #1 world power, they want to replace the yen as the world monetary fund or the world currency. And essentially, they're really racing to make sure they got a bigger military than us. They want to displace it, but that's okay. We got to worry about Russia, because Russia is the one doing everything against the United States. Remember, China is our friend because they load up Walmart with cheap goods that last exactly 90 days or less. 89 days, you can pretty well figure whatever you bought's going to die. So you got to go down and buy another one. All right, here's the article. JBS, the world's largest meat packer, said on Tuesday night it had made significant progress in resolving the cyber attack. Now, what they're talking about is they got a ransomware attack, and which really kind of amazes me is that these cyber attacks are focusing more and more on the food infrastructure. The vast majority of the company's beef, pork, poultry, and prepared food plants will be operational on Wednesday, according to a statement, easing concerns over rising food prices. Guys, food prices are up. We're going to get to, $10 a pound for beef? Well, maybe those bugs will sound pretty good then. Well, I'm getting to that, okay? JBS halted cattle slaughter at all its plants, U.S. plants, on Tuesday, according to union officials. On Monday, the attack caused Australian operations to shut down. Brazil's JBS SA told the U.S. government that a ransomware attack on the company that disrupted meat production in North America and Australia originated from a criminal organization, of course, likely based in Russia, the White House said on Tuesday. JBS, the world's largest meat packer, said on Tuesday night it had made significant progress, Anyways, the cyber attack followed the cyber attack followed one last month by a group with ties to, guess where, Russia! On Colonial Pipeline, the largest fuel pipeline in the United States, which crippled fuel delivery for several days in the U.S. and Southeast. JBS halted cattle slaughter at all its U.S. plants on Tuesday. Anyways, said everything's up and running again, so life's good. And, you know, guys, I'm really, really confused. You know, China develops all of these high-tech equipment. They've got programmers trained in the United States, and yet they just never do a cyber attack against the U.S. Ever, ever. It's always Russia, which, by the way, doesn't really produce much of a high-tech industry. Did you know their main industry is gas and, well, liquid gas? That's it. Petroleum. That's their biggest export. That's their biggest moneymaker. And yet they do all these things. All right, let's get to this article because I'm going to kind of show you how even the mainstream conservative outlets, such as Gateway Pundit, well, I don't know if they're trying to misdirect, but let's take a look. All right, let's get to this Gateway Pundit article. Again, you know, maybe they're just, you know, didn't put the pieces together. Maybe they just missed it. I don't know. But I will say this, you know, when it comes to the food shortages, several of the articles that I went through when it talked about the cyber attack said that expect it to increase in frequency. Hey, at least they tell you what they're going to do before they do it, okay? And you gotta, and let's be honest, man, you gotta give credit where credit is due. You gotta give it to them Russians, man. After a night of getting bombed, drinking vodka, then getting up in the morning, going out and working 10 hours on the pipelines, sucking up oil, making sure the gas gets pumped to support the country. They go home and they learn cyber hacking, and ransomware, and then get drunk and do it all over again the next day. Amazing how far you could get with a work ethic like that. Anyways, again, I'm not saying that Russia hasn't done any. I know Russia has their own cyber, department too, but I don't think everything that's happened in the United States when it comes to cyber is all out of, Russia. Okay, anyways, desperate for attention. They missed the mark, man. CNN anchor eats dead bugs on live television. They're cicadas, by the way. And if you've lived near cicadas, they're really loud. And to be honest with you, I'm all for anything that takes down the cicada population. CNN's Brianna Keller is apparently so desperate for a bit of attention that she ate dead cicadas on live television. I don't know if that's really bad. Would it have been better if she was eating live cicadas? We got to make sure that everybody knows they're dead cicadas. Would it be abuse if they were alive? Torture? Anyways, the dead insects were prepared by her for her by sushi chef Bun Lao, who serves the bugs at his restaurants. Maya, I think is the name of it. Anyways, the cicada's only known natural predators journalists. That's really good. Okay. Anyways, hey, that's actually quite delicious, Keller said on the bugs that have been underground for the last 17 years. So not only have, well, now we know that they were dead. I don't think cicadas can live underground for 17 years. Well, you got to make sure that they're aged properly. On Wednesday, the FDA issued an advisory regarding eating of cicadas, warning that people who are allergic to shellfish should avoid them. By the way, I do love crab and I do love shrimp. So let's be honest, okay? If you like those two items right there, you're eating bugs. It's just the UN needs to bring up, we need to eat more shrimp and need to eat more crab. But no, they want us to eat cicadas and mealworms. And anyways, yep, we have to say it. The FDA tweeted, "Don't eat cicadas if you're allergic to seafood on these insects. Share a family relationship to shrimp and lobsters." Oh yeah, lobster, if you like lobster. You know, that's another bug. Guys, if they have an antenna, odds are good it's a bug. But hey, let's look on the bright side here, guys. If the UN is actually involved in this and they want to normalize it, and let's say that they really want to get rid of people eating meat, and if we take a look at what Kissenger said about controlling the food, they don't want us to starve to death. They just want us to eat bugs. So that's on the bright side. All right, guys, till my next video, which hopefully will be later this afternoon.